Your spine straight and unsupported if possible so that the energies can flow freely. Then just gently closing your eyes. And bringing your awareness inside into your body. Allowing yourself to be fully present with your body. And very gently guiding your awareness deep inside your heart center. Finding your own beautiful sacred space inside, in this powerful vortex in the center of your chest. We'll take a few deep breaths here, breathing in through the nose and hold. And exhaling through the mouth. And another deep breath. And exhale. And one more breath. And gently allowing your heart to expand, to open. A letting go. And tapping into all of these divine qualities within your heart. Your inner truth, your inner beingness. Compassion. Divine love. Peace. Joy. Faith. Abundance. Power. And allowing these energies to radiate out from your heart throughout your being. Lighten up every single cell in your body. And even deeper into the subtle bodies. Your emotional body, your mental body, causal body, spiritual body. All held and supported by the frequency of your heart. Creating a beautiful sacred space all around you. A space where you can feel safe. A space where you can relax. A space where you can fully be yourself. And now becoming aware of your body in connection to Mother Gaia. Allowing your body to relax even more into her support. And imagine that you're growing a strong, powerful, energetic root from your heart, going all the way down through your body, through the base of the spine, the soles of your feet, going down through all of the layers of the earth, and touching, connecting to the heart of Mother Gaia. Finding your own unique place of connection here. This place where your soul came before embodiment and you signed your name. With all of your unique gifts and talents, the challenges and opportunities for growth. And your goals and soul destiny. And Mother Gaia opened her arms to you, so delighted that you're here on the planet at this amazing time. Here to play your own unique role in this ascension process. And just noticing all of the ways that you're intimately connected with her. Your body, a part of her body. Made up of her minerals, her elements. Flowing with her rhythm, her cycles, her seasons. And now becoming aware of another energetic root, like an umbilical cord. It's called the Antakarana, and it's anchored within your physical heart. And moves up into the heart chakra, the throat chakra, first eye, and out the crown of your head. Powerful beam of light, energy, all the way to source, to oneness. Pure divine love, pure light. As far as you can imagine, perceive, feel, to all of who you are in the highest realm, the womb of creation. And this Antakarana anchors your soul within the physical body. It connects you to all of your higher light bodies, your multidimensional selves, beyond this realm. Like a Russian doll, growing bigger, expanding out, becoming more and more pure. while you're simultaneously here, fully present in the physical body. And we'll now call on your higher self, your Divine Mother self, to be present. This is the part of you that sits halfway between Source and the personality self here on earth, and is responsible for guiding and directing all of your life experiences here, helping you to grow, to evolve, helping you to align with your life and soul purpose here on the earth. This is the most important relationship in your life, your most beloved. So opening yourself up to receive all that she is offering in this moment. All of her love, her compassion, her guidance, her insights, her wisdom. And asking her to hold sacred space for you during this reading, along with your guides, your angels, your spiritual lineage. Bringing you whatever you need that's most appropriate in this moment. And I now call on the Magdalena energies in the presence of Mary Magdalene. These are the energies that Mary Magdalene embodied as the Divine Feminine walking on the planet 2,000 years ago. And these energies are being brought to the planet again and activated here in a major way by my spiritual teacher to bring balance and harmony to humanity, to balance the Divine Feminine with the Divine Masculine within each of us and collectively as a race. Her energies of tenderness, devotion, compassion, faith, unshakable courage and strength, wisdom, and divine feminine power. And I ask that these energies continue to radiate out through my energy field, through my voice, through my intention, and through the words and information that I share, to serve Faye in the most appropriate way today. To provide her with the insights and guidance that she needs, and to help activate her own unique archetypes into their highest frequencies, clearing any discordant energies which she's ready to release, and to help her step more and more into her life and soul purpose, to bring ease, fulfillment, success, joy in every area of her life. So let's just take a few deep breaths, just breathing in whatever is here for you. One more conscious breath. And very gently bringing yourself fully back into your body, into your heart center. Feeling your body on the earth. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes, coming back into this present moment. Okay, my love.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to share with me before we go on?
Oh, so much came up then. When I clear, it comes out between my shoulder blades. I get like shivers and the energy comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a stomach, like womb pain.
Okay.
And before you said about the umbilical cord, that was what came to mind. And it was, I was in a stomach almost, like, and then, and then before the higher self, I've seen her before, my higher self. And in one dream, I was she always has her mouth covered though, and I was trying to pull her mask off. And she was there again, but she had it hidden behind her hand this time, her mouth.
She had her mouth hidden behind her hand.
Mm-hmm. Because last time she came and I tried to pull it off her face. And it's me, which is weird, but a really, really much, much hotter version of me, like really like strong, but also like the best bits, but way better. But her mouth is always.
So maybe that will become clear as we go through the two readings. Okay, there must be a message in that for you somehow. Okay, so it'll be interesting. I just got a bit cold in here, sorry. Yeah, that's interesting. There must be some reason for that for you to. We'll ask for that clarity to come. Okay. So are you ready to go on?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I'll tell you, the energy was coming through really strongly for me there. I was sometimes even had to speak. So.
Oh yeah, and my guides, you'll get messages from my guides too, because they're very strong.
Okay.
So if you hear them talking and stuff, don't worry. They'll be saying yes to you or true. So if that happens, that's okay. Just that's.
When I do meditations, I do get the words before I speak them, so it would be difficult for me to decipher. Yeah, because it's kind of how it comes through me as well, and I'm never sure who's talking to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, the energy was very strong there, and I could feel it even before I do a meditation before we come online. It was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
This is going to be big.
Oh yeah, it needed to be. It is in the soul contract reading. When I was working with Hillary, she had a microphone on it, and you could hear through the audio my guides are talking, and she's like, "This is so creepy."
Wow.
Picked it up. I'll send you it if you want, because I'm sure you'll be able. You're all three, aren't you? Clairaudient Claire. Are you all three?
To be honest, I've my senses is more feeling, like I'm very, it's all about feeling stuff, but I guess I do get hearing, but it just seems like my voice, but I know that it's no, because in healing sessions I'm told where to go and it comes through as a voice. My visual clairvoyance wouldn't be so developed. When I'm with my guru, I would see things more in her energy field, but it wouldn't be that normal for me. But saying that, I have had weird things happen lately, so who knows? But clairvoyant I'm supposed to be because of my age, so maybe it's only just starting to open up.
All right, yeah. I thought...
So can you see your chart okay?
Oh, let's bring it in. Oh yeah, okay.
I'm just going to check your details again, because you said you were a manifesting generator, but according to your details, you're a generator. So the 10th of October 1985 at 22:10, 10 past 10 in the evening. Yeah, Hartlepool, United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who told you you were a manifesting generator?
Oh, my friend Suzanne, she does like body talk, but yeah, that's what she said. But
Okay, if he said
she's
you
wrong.
wrong, yeah.
That's okay. That's but my birth name, I don't know if that makes a difference. My birth name is just Faye, Lewis.
Okay, it doesn't make a difference, because it's only it's only the time of birth and the place of birth that comes into this.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Cool.
but it's so fascinating when you see you can combine the two charts and see how it all works together. But I didn't realize this wasn't your birth name chart, like the soul contract. So maybe you could send me your original chart before I do the second part of your reading, and then I'll be able to have a look and see how they interact, if that's okay with you. So
this is the name I'm gonna have though for forever now. I'm gonna, because it's much better.
feels right. Yeah. So do you know anything about this system, or will I tell you, explain to you? So this is really interesting. This actually landed on the planet about 1987, which was around the same time as the soul contract was brought back again. I think there was a supernova in the sky, and all of this stuff got reactivated. So a man in Ibiza, he just had this profound spiritual awakening. He crawled into a tree, and all of this stuff, he got downloaded for 5 days with all of this information, and it totally changed his life, and he spent the rest of his life integrating it and teaching it to other people. And although it's like a new system, it's actually like a synthesis of 5 kind of ancient systems, and it basically shows you the way that you're energetically designed and how these archetypes actually work within your body, okay, which is just amazing to me. So as you can see, like, this is the representation of the human torso. And then we have these shapes inside, and these are very similar to the Hindu chakra system. But the difference is the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra. In human design, what this man was taught was, in, I think it was 1781, the human system went through a shift in evolution, and that was kind of the marker date. And two of the chakras actually divide it into two in terms of the way that they are designed to operate now in the body. And this is really in alignment with my guru's teachings, because she's saying that the whole system, including the physical body, is we're going through a huge leap in evolution. We're moving to a crystalline being, a silicon-based being. And so in human design, there's another marker point that's coming up in 2027, where the whole system is changing again.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just fascinating.
Yeah.
So this chart, the heart chakra, actually divided into two in terms of its function. So this is called the identity center, or G center, which I think about like the higher heart. It's got all the energies of divine love, all the different types of love. And then this is called the ego center, or the will center. And I think about it like the more personality heart, yeah. And it's to do with where willpower and where sense of self-worth and value and resources and things like that. And then the solar plexus that normally sits here is divided into two. Okay, so this is called the emotional solar plexus, and it's to do with where emotional energy in the body. And this is called the splenic center, and it's to do with your instinctive responses in terms of your body survival responses. Okay, so instincts, but also can be to do with fight or flight patterns. Okay, if it's in the more negative side, it's also to do with your immune system and divine timing. Okay, so they all have different functions. And then the rest of the centers are the same. This is the head center, it's like the crown chakra, which is to do with inspirational energy. The ajna center, which is to do with how the mind works and the thought processes work. Perceptions. The throat center, which is to do with creative expression in being able to put things out into the world. Okay. The G center is to do with your identity, okay, and your direction. The sacral is to do with, this is the most powerful motor. It's to do with life force energy, work force energy, and sexual energy. Okay, and the root center in this system, it's to do with your adrenaline energy. Okay, so they all have these different functions. And then, as you can see, there's these numbers within the shapes, and there's 64 in total, 1 to 64. And these represent the 64 energies of the Chinese I Ching. You're probably familiar with that, yeah?
Yeah.
So these are like the tarot. It's like 64 different ways that the human consciousness can express in the world, okay? And the numbers always stay in the same position. So 64 is always here in the head, 11 is always here in the ajna. And it's because they're very related to the functions of the center. So they have to stay in that position. But what does change is the astrology. So that's these two columns here. So this column is to do with your soul's design, okay? This is the moment that you took birth, that you came out your mother's womb. These were the positions, so the planets and the moon and the different planets at that moment in time in the sky. And as you can see, like this is called your conscious sun. This is the most important energy in your chart, for everybody's chart. Your conscious sun was in the number 757, which is the gate 57, which is this number here in the Chinese I Ching, this gate here, okay? So what that means is at that moment in time when you took birth, the sun was lighting up that particular archetype and you embodied it. It gave you what's called definition. So you have that archetype sustainable and consistent within you. Okay, it's a part of who you are in this incarnation, and you're here to radiate it out to everybody else. Okay, it's an energy that you're given to the human consciousness. And so that's the same all of these. So all of the black side or the black gates are coming for your soul consciousness side. Okay. This side is your body consciousness. So your soul that's in the body has its own design and its own consciousness, and your physical body has its own consciousness. Okay, and the kind of name of the game is to get the two working together because they're normally like at odds. So we got to get them together. So your body consciousness was actually designed 3 months prior to your birth, or 88 astrological degrees. So this was a time where you're a fetus in the womb and your physical body and your brain reached a certain stage of development, and it kind of your body consciousness was formed. So at that particular moment in time, your unconscious sun, this is the unconscious side, your unconscious sun was in the gate 53, which is this one down here. Okay, so again, this is a really important energy for you. It's an energy that you embody, you have it sustainable within you, and you're here to radiate it out to life. Okay, so that's the same for all of this side, and they're all the red gates. Okay, you following?
I am, yeah.
Just tell me if it gets too much, because some people get a bit overwhelmed if you can by all the information, but some people just lap it up. So
yeah, don't you worry.
You'll lap it up.
I need to hear it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So as you can see, sometimes the gates meet. So here you've got the 14-2 meeting, you have the 10-57 meeting, and you have the 59-6 meeting. Okay, doesn't matter whether it's black and black, red or black, or here you've got a red and black meeting a black. As long as they meet up, they form a channel. Okay, that's what they're called. And everywhere that you have two gates meeting up, first of all, that means that this is a particular strong theme in your life. Okay, that you hold both polarities of the theme, and you've got the whole thing playing out. It's kind of like part of your curriculum, okay, in this lifetime. And it also means that where they meet up, it also gives definition to the centers on each side of the channel. Okay, so that's why these ones are colored in, because all of these gates are meeting up. Okay, so that also means that within the centers, you also embody this particular archetype in the center. You have it sustainable and you're radiating it out to life, depending on whatever the theme is in the centers. Okay, so every word that's colored in is basically, it's like what your soul has chosen as its curriculum. This is who you are sustainably, and what you're doing in this lifetime is learning how to express these energies in their highest frequency. You're always going to have them, but you can either play them out in their negative energies or in their most divine energies. Okay, so it's more fixed. but you have that's the way that they can express. Everywhere in the chart that's white, it's called openness. So that's in the centers, the channels, the gates, okay? It doesn't mean that you cannot experience these energies. You don't have them sustainable within you, or that you don't embody them, but you can feel them from the people around you that has that definition. Okay, so the same way that you're radiating out your definition, other people are radiating out their definition. And when you're with somebody, like for me, I have a defined head and ajna center. So my role is to radiate out that type of energy. And when you're with me, and even on Zoom like this or in person, what you're doing is you're taking in that energy and you're amplifying it within you. So you actually feel it more as the person that has it, okay? But it's not sustainable. So you get to borrow it for a short period of time. But if you leave that person's energy field, that energy will eventually leave you, okay? So this is really good when somebody has a high frequency energy, because you get the benefit of that and you get to use it and experience it, and you get a huge choice. It's like going into Tesco's and going, whoa, I get to pick this and this and this, or you can feel lots of different things. It's a wide variety, but it doesn't stay with you. But you're here to, it's the places where you're learning to get wise about energy. Do I like this? Do I want to play with it? Do I want to hold on to it? Or is it a low frequency and I don't like this at all, I'm just going to let that pass through me, okay? So this is kind of how we're all, when we all come together, we kind of play with one another and we benefit for being together, and the dynamics of relationships, why you're attracted to some people and not attracted to the other people, okay?
That's crazy, you know?
It's
when
really,
you look at my soul contract overlay too, because I think are you doing soul contract too?
yeah.
All my exes have 14 fives.
Okay.
All of them. I'm attracted to a certain, and it's that whatever the hell 14-5 is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time.
Well, that's intense relationships, isn't it? So you're learning through the mirror somehow. But in human design, what it will be is, especially for you, you're going to be attracted to people that either has the gate 20, they get 48. You have a few actually, they get 48, 31, 8 or 33 are going to be like really super attractive to you, okay? Because what that does is it actually gets your energy. This is all your main body of energy here, and you can see it's all connected together, but it doesn't reach the throat. And the name of the game in human design is to be able to get all of your, especially these motor energies, connected to the throat, because that's how you can really manifest in life and create in life. And being a generator, or in the new language, you're an alchemist. Okay, I love that so much better. One of the features of an alchemist is that you don't get this energy to the throat. So you're going to be really attracted to people with these gates that make the connection for you. It'll feel really good. And I have the 31 and I have the 20. So when you're with me, you make that links and you can really express yourself. It's kind of like you get access to this energy that you kind of get by yourself in the same way.
It's true. I struggle to articulate myself, but I can write. But I have, when I can, people fall into line immediately, and really respect me, and I can,
Yeah.
you know, talk, but I struggle,
Yeah.
and people don't always realize it, but it's really difficult for me.
Okay.
I've had to learn to fake things a little bit because
Yeah.
it's massive problem for me,
Okay.
and that's always blocked in.
So one of the things that can happen, we can look more deeply into the different energies, just trying to see if there's anything really obvious about why you're blocked there. But one of the things, oh yeah, okay. So the 62 is your unconscious Mars. In another system that's very connected to human design called the gene keys, the core wound is held in the unconscious Mars. Okay, and your unconscious Mars is in the gate 62, which is coming off the throat. Okay, so there will be some very deep core wound that must probably you experienced in childhood, or it was probably carried on or over for a past life. Okay, that you wish to resolve, and
Persecution.
that's probably what this your higher self is showing you here. We covering your mouth. Okay,
Persecution for speaking the truth. It's happened a lot in my lives.
yeah,
That's it. That's the thing that it's hard.
yeah. And it's all over your chart here. I'm gonna come into this. Okay, yeah.
Getting excited.
So
Sorry.
yeah, no, it's great. It's like, and the fact that you have an open throat, every word that you have open, these are the places in childhood that you can imagine. You come in as a soul, okay, and you choose the parents, you choose the things that you're going to be really tough for us to deal with, because these are the things that we have to grow through. So we land into this house, and every word that you have open, you're taking in people's energies in the house and amplifying it. Okay, so having an open throat, what that means is, when you're amplifying other people's throat energies, you're going to be wanting to talk and talk and talk, and you can and express and whatever you're doing. If your parents couldn't handle that or didn't know how to deal with that, there might have been some abuse there or some way that they shut you down, and you were like, I've got to do this. Yeah. And then you create all of these subconscious patterns in order to survive in that household, just so that you can survive and be safe. Yeah. But what happens then is you carry these over into your adulthood because the wound hasn't actually been healed. There's something deep down that has to be accessed to allow you to actually be able to really communicate freely and speak your truth. Okay, does that resonate with you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I'll tell you because it's fine, and you probably already guessed it. So I'm gay, and when I was like 5, I had a boyfriend at nursery, and my mum, you know, it was my first day, and she said, "Oh, you're gonna marry Lloyd, greet, you know, your boyfriend," and I went, "No, I'm gonna marry a woman," and even and she was like, "Oh," and she's like, "Well, that's not the done thing," but my mum was gay, but she lived in fear of anybody finding it out, and she hid her whole life of, which is, and I only found this out after she was dead, although I kind of knew it. And then so I was like, even though I kept everything inside and I was the grown up a lot, certain things I would always be very truthful and just knew. And, you know, I was 5, I just knew that that was what was going to happen. I didn't even know what was straight gay, you know, I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
But I just looked into the future and went, no, that I'm going to marry a woman. And my mum was so triggered by how easy it was for me to just say that. And that was, she always used to say to me, keep things dark. You know, when I went for counseling when I was 17, she was like, keep it dark, don't tell anyone. Everything was always, because that's how she lived her life. But I'm not like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one example, many other examples, but
And
this one.
I feel intuitively it's connected to whatever you've got going on in your vagina. Okay. in that there's always a big connection to the sacral and soul energy, and sacral energy is how you connect to your divine feminine. Okay, so there's something there that you haven't been able to express, yeah, your sexuality, your gender preferences, all of that, and it feels to me that there's a connection there, okay, that that if you wanted to work with me again, then maybe there's the way that things we can look into that.
Can I just mention this one, because this is, when you're saying this, it's making sense.
Mm-hmm.
So the lump I've got in my vagina, literally, I got that when I was first in love with a woman. She had HPV, and like she was the one I fell head over heels in love with, and she was the one that gave me HPV. And I don't know if that's a connection at all, but
okay,
that feels quite a weirdly coincidental. And I told my mum about her when my mum was dying in the hospice.
mm-hmm.
So I had to sort of say, oh, you know, she's more than just a friend.
And when did your mum die?
It was 9 years ago this year, so I was 26.
Yeah. And did that, were you close with your mum? Was there a lot of stuff that came up for you in that?
It was a strange time. Like, I got pregnant, and after I'd had the abortion, my mum said, don't leave it too late to have children. She didn't know about the abortion, but my mum was a strange one. Like, yeah, we weren't particularly close. She didn't see me, or she wouldn't see me because she didn't want to, because it triggered her.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So I'm clearing a lot for her as well as for myself. But my bond is really, the connection you make with one of your parents is actually with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot going on here. Like there's
Yeah.
and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm just getting downloaded with stuff at the moment. So
Thank you. I'm so hard.
say that again.
I'm so difficult to work with. You're going to need a big bath.
No, you're not difficult at all. It's completely perfect. So where are we going to go for here? Here. So what I felt to do, okay, and I think this is going to really explain a lot to you. I don't normally do this in the first reading, but I felt to share about your incarnation cross, because I think once you understand this, you'll be like, oh, okay. So, and then we're going to go back into the foundation reading. Okay, the foundation reading is it's more like a general thing. It's about your type. It's about your strategy. But it's this important information that when you know how your type is kind of meant to work in the world and you put it into practice, everything can change, okay? And then the second reading, we're going to go look more into your incarnation cross and all of these energies in relation to your life and soul purpose, okay? So I'm going to read to you just, there's a site online that kind of sums up these four energies. These make up 70% of your human design chart and the energies that you're actually putting out to life, okay? So you are the right angle cross of penetration number 3. Okay, so you have the unique ability to read other people and know in the now what is right or wrong for them. Your energy supports being intuitive and to even hear the voices of angels or guides not in form. You have to be wise about what to do in the moment for you and for others. This knowledge comes from a place of intuitive knowing. You will be straight to the point in all that you do and won't be inclined to include details.
Oh, sorry, I just lost you then. What was that?
Okay.
After intuitive knowing?
Okay, you will be straight to the point in all that you do and won't be inclined to include details. You're just like straight, you just go straight there. And the reason for that is your conscious sun is in the gate 57. This is the most intuitive, instinctive energies in the chart. Okay, it's just pure instinct in the moment. You know exactly what needs to be done, okay, in the moment. The 51 is your conscious earth. This is what grounds you, or what you need to ground in order for you to express your sun energies. This is in the gate 51. It's in its highest expression, it's the energy of initiation. Okay, so it's these initiating experiences. It's very mystical, this channel. I have the 25, so we have where energy is meeting up here. It's the channel of the shaman and priestess. Okay, so it's an initiating energy that you will be put through initiations in your life, spiritual initiations, in order for you to learn for them and evolve through them. So you had that going on last year. Yeah, it's like an initiation for you. And they're challenging, they're tough, okay? But it's always to connect you back into spirit. The 25 is universal love, okay? Love of spirit. Unconditional love. And the 51 is to initiate you back into finding that within yourself. Okay. In its lowest expression, the 51 is shock. Yeah. So it's like shocking things might happen to you to initiate you. And you might find that you speak in shocking ways that people go, whoa, what Faye saying? Yeah. So you can imagine how that might have come out. And as a child, we are 62 energy here. And as a child, and especially for your mother, if you were a reflection of your mother, or everything that she was denying in herself, and you just kind of bluntly come out and said things, probably didn't go doing too well. Yeah,
no, it did not. The worst one was her sister's birthday, and she said draw her a card, and I drew a picture of her in bed with a bottle of gin, and I was only 6 or 7. Turns out she was an alcoholic that she was hiding for years, and her choice of drink was gin. And my mum didn't realize. She's like, oh, she'll find it funny. And my auntie hated me after that, but I just couldn't help it. A lot of those things happen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and it's funny because I've been getting a load of people with the right angle cross of penetration coming for readings lately. What's going on here?
Set up a support group.
I get these run of people, like for a while it was the right angle cross of service. So people were coming to me, and it's very much light workers that have certain gifts, yeah, that you're here to really offer. And it seems to be like I learn about a certain energies for a period of time. So it's just really interesting. So I wanted to read you that so that you are like, oh, okay, because it's so you, right? It's like,
yeah,
it's totally perfect. So what we're coming back to, okay, we're going to go more into that the second reading. What we're coming back to now is your type. So your type is an alchemist or a generator, okay, a pure generator type. My type is a time bender or a manifesting generator. So we're slightly different, but we're both generator types, okay? So we are the only two types that have a defined sacral energy. Okay, the other three types, they're open here. Okay, so what that means, having a defined sacral, we have consistent, sustainable workforce, life force, and sexual energy within us. Okay, so we're here, as we're type, we're here to be the builders, the doers, the creators on the earth. We love to be doing stuff. We love to be making stuff. And when we're doing something that we're really passionate about, we can just keep going. We don't have to stop. Does that feel right for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It borders on obsession sometimes.
Yeah, and it's especially if it's a passion, you forget to eat, you forget to sleep, you can just keep going. And this is a really powerful motor. It's the most powerful motor in the system. So it's energy that has to be used. Okay, in order for you to stay healthy, you need to be using it, doing enough exercise and physical movement in order for you to go to bed completely tired. That's when you get good sleep. And I remember you saying you just can't sleep. You find that
Can't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've stopped having sex as well. For the last, well, Faye, it's pandemic. That's what it took to slow me down. But yeah, I'm very, very highly sexual.
Okay.
And that, yeah.
And that's because you're 59 here. Okay, this is your conscious moon. So the conscious moon is what drives you. And in the gate 59, this whole channel, it's the channel of mating, but it's actually a very masculine energy. It's about and it might be a kind of sign of why you're gay, because it's more on the masculine energy side, okay? But it's really about providing for the tribe, okay? That it's that energy of it is about mating and sex and all of that, but it's also about you wanting to providing resources for the tribe. It's that kind of energy, okay? But because your moon is here, what drives you, it's going to make you very sexual. It's a penetrating energy, okay? This has been coming up a huge amount as well, to get 59. I have a feeling it's all because I have to share this with you. Okay. So because it's a penetrating energy, it's going to even doubly impact your incarnation cross. If you think about it, it's like this is all about it's penetration, the right angle cross of penetration. Okay, it's an energy that comes directly into somebody and kind of shocks them with the truth of it. Yeah. And so you've got that going on in your incarnation cross, but you've also got it going on in your moon. Okay, so it might help you to understand your energy a bit better. Why am I highly sexual? 59. Okay.
Thank you. Bloody 59.
I have another client that I've just a few days ago, and her moon was in the 59 as well, exactly the same. And it will also mean that you'll probably be attract a lot of people with your sexual energy. You'll have a lot of people coming on to you as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So in order for you, coming back here, in order for you to stay healthy, if you can exercise as much as possible to use that energy, okay? my teacher is a life coach, one of the first life coaches on the planet. And in the early days, when she first learned about human design, she was getting all of these kids coming to her that had been diagnosed with ADHD and ADD and all of that, yeah, and they were going to be put on Ritalin. And when she had a look at their charts, every single one of them was a generator type, and that they just weren't getting enough exercise in the day. So they weren't sleeping at night. Their whole brain chemistry and body chemistry changed. And the next day, they were hyperactive and they couldn't do stuff. So she put them all on an exercise program, and the whole lot disappeared. All of the symptoms disappeared. So this is how important it is for you, okay? Do you do a lot of exercise, like physical movement?
I love drumming. I used to box. Swimming's my favorite because for the energy and the empathy, the empathic parts of me. I need to be submerged in water. But I walk like I'll do yoga every morning. Once I've had a few bad weeks actually, but this month. But I'll always have my 200 sit-ups, do yoga, walk at least 10,000 steps a day, and that's just in my head, like as a bare minimum. But yeah, I can go and go and go and go. Like even at Val's birthday a few weeks ago, I was just like dancing like a crazy person, and I just couldn't stop. And it was like I had to get it out. Even afterwards, she had to take me for a walk around, like when everyone had gone to sleep, just to tire me out.
Okay. Yeah. I'm getting a sense that there could be more going on than just this. What happened to me was I had some physical abuse when I was a child, okay? And what happened with that is my whole nervous system got damaged. And I didn't realize that. I was living my whole life in fight or flight. Like my adrenaline, everything was just, you can, anything happen, I was just, you can let this. And I told you I had a Kundalini awakening 7 years ago. And what actually happened is, like when I met my guru, I guess she was preparing me for that time. And it was a huge initiation for me, basically. An ex-partner died by tragic circumstances, and it kind of shocked me awake. Yeah, I knew it was, I had to make this decision: am I embodying my spirituality, or am I going into this trauma? Because the trauma would have killed me completely. And what happened was I had this Kundalini awakening. After that, I chose to stay on the planet. I'm here to serve. And I was put through this Kundalini awakening. And the result of it was my nervous system got healed. It was like a completely different person before and after. Like it was, I even had, immediately after, I was attacked by 2 dogs, like a big, huge Rottweiler type dog and a collie, and they were after my little dog, and I had my dog on my shoulder, and I was fighting off these big dogs. And afterwards I realized I would have done that before, but afterwards my whole system would have gone completely. I was like totally healed. I was like, I was nearly even elated afterwards. For that, I would never have been like that. I would have been in complete shock, you can. And so I'm getting a sense that, I'm not sure if this is true for you, but that your nervous system might be.
It is. It's so I've been raped. I've had a lot of people try. There was a paedophile in Tel Aviv who I've blocked out a memory. My nervous system, I had shingles just after that. They said it was shingles, but it wasn't. All the nerve endings died in here when I was 11, which was about a year afterwards, or a couple of months afterwards. And then what happened? I lost my best friend in a very tragic circumstances when I was 18 or 18. And what I did was the opposite to you. Rather than go with the spiritual, I said, I don't want to fucking see any, because I've always seen ghosts or spirits, all of this. I used to talk to them. It was part of who I was. And I just said, no, I don't want to see anything anymore. And then I lived in my body more, I guess. But it was always fight or flight. I was, my whole 20s were fight or flight. And I was taking drugs then as well, and drinking loads. And because I'd separated, I guess, my body and soul, maybe.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes some sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and again, that can be very connected to the lump in your vagina and all of these things that you can, it all has an impact, okay? And so are you doing like lots of healing work, Faye? Are you going to therapists? And
oh God, the last year has been incredible. Like, yeah, a lot of work. I've been doing a hell of a lot of work. And I think that was why I couldn't get a job either, or didn't want to get a job. I was grounding, I was meditating daily. And it was hard for me to even manage 5 minutes initially.
yeah.
Now I can do like an hour, and it's a lot better.
Fantastic. I've been on a really intense path for like nearly 20 years. It takes time, okay?
Yeah.
But honest to God, like the difference in me, you wouldn't have recognized me for 10 years ago. A completely different person. Yeah, all of this stuff can be healed. It's you have the power within you to change everything. Anything that's been created can be decreated. And so I would say it is going to be a combination of the fact that you have this powerful energy, and it's a sexual energy as well, but I also get the sense it's the nervous system, that it's when your nervous system is in that place, you just cannot relax because it's always on alert what's going to happen next, okay? And you've had all of these shocking experiences and real traumas, yeah, in your life that through the process of your healing, you'll be able to go and get to these deep layers, okay? And I think with the work that you're doing with Nicholas, fantastic. Yeah, I have huge respect for him.
Same.
Yeah,
I think he's great. A lot of people are like, oh, he's so triggering. I don't find him at all.
no,
I think
yeah,
he's very sweet.
yeah,
Like, he wants to help people, and
yeah, yeah,
I like him a lot.
yeah. And there's a whole community there. So, and if there's anything that I can do as well, like I say, I have lots of different services and things that you might be able to tap into if it feels right to you, if you're guided, okay?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
So coming back here, we're going all over the place here. But
Sorry.
I'm gonna say sorry because this is what it's all about, okay? It's just me trying to, okay, what do I do next? Share whatever you need to share, that's really important. That's the purpose of this, okay? So your sacral, this is the biggest gift that we actually have as generator types. No other type has this. In human design, this is considered your inner compass. And when you know how to tap into this, this is the kind of system or the structure that can help you to really navigate what's meant for you in life. Okay, what's going to be good for you, what's going to be successful for you. When I learned this is what changed everything for me, okay? So your inner compass, it's kind of like I think about it like your womb intuition, okay? You also have a splenic center, which is a kind of in the moment intuitive response where you know something. But your sacral center it's also in the belly response, but it's it's actually this feeling of, that feels really good. It's like a sensual feeling that is actually activated with what's called sacral sounds. So the sounds of the sacral is the all of that kind of sounds. Are you aware that you make that kind of sounds?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, even stupid things when I eat food. My friend Emma's like, Jesus Christ, can you stop sounding like you're having an orgasm? It's like, no, I can't.
So the sacral sounds are like the key in the motor, because this is a motor, okay? So the more that you can kind of make these sounds, and it's in response, especially to yes and no questions, okay? So this, when you tap into the sacral and you answer for that, plus you kind of lie. You kind of lie to yourself. So somebody is to ask you a yes and no question and you to reply with you kind of lie about it, yeah, while your head can lie. The head can tell ourselves all silly things, but it's disconnected for the body response. So when you start using the sounds more and really using them consciously, you get a direct access to your inner wisdom in terms of what is right for me, and is it right for me in this moment, because it's very in the moment response as well. And it's always going to work together with your intuition, your instinct. Okay? Is it making sense?
So I have to make those sounds because I already know. I know everything, truth, yes, no, like, but I have to get practiced to make the noises.
Well, I think this is going to really help you, because it's going to connect you to your divine feminine power, and it's going to get your sacral, even though you're really instinctive, the two are going to work together. Okay, and what it's going to do is, rather it just being an intuition hit, you're going to get like a kind of feeling sensation in the body that's going to be really guiding you. And I don't know how successful you are at making decisions that's good for you, and it seems like you've had a lot of trauma in your life. So I have a feeling that the more that you can work with this response, it's going to bring you to the decisions and the situations that's going to be really work for you, that's going to be better for you, if that makes sense.
Complete, yeah, total sense. Yeah.
So how this works, this is part of the picture when you connect with this feeling, yeah, and you can, as you practice on the little things in life, like choosing vitamins, or what fruit do I want, the banana, yeah. When you practice on that, it kind of gets you to have faith in that, okay? But when the big decisions come, that's when we get confused and we flip up here to all of the conditioned patterns up here. What should I do to keep my mum happy? What should I do that society expects of me to do because I'm making lots of money? What should I do to keep everybody else happy, rather as what feels good for Faye? Okay, and I think we all have that issues. Even though you're very intuitive, you might not listen to it sometimes. You might go with the other response, yeah, the other thinking thing. So how this fits into the whole pattern of your strategy is, as a generator type, you're not actually designed to initiate things like a manifester. Like Nicholas is a manifester. What that means is, a manifester, if he has an idea or a project he wants to create, if he feels in alignment in himself, he feels good about it, he can just go do it and it's going to work. It's going to be successful. That's a manifester. you're a generator, and I'm a manifesting generator, so I've got a bit of manifester in me, but I still have to follow a generator strategy. And what that means is, when you have an idea about something you want to do, what you're actually designed for is to go, okay, higher self, okay, guides, okay, source, if this is the best thing for me, give me a sign to follow, to respond to show me that this is the right way for me. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear about, you know, about people speaking about signs, but we're the only two types that actually work with signs.
They're so strong. Like, since tapping, that's something in the last year, since tapping into that, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere now. Everywhere.
So the signs for with it, as long as it comes for the outside, it's a sign. So it can be anything, like a bird flies past, somebody says something, an email comes with human design, can be anything like that. It has to come from the outside. So it's not about getting something in a dream. It's not about getting something in a meditation. It has to be an outside thing, okay? So when that sign comes, it doesn't mean that it's right for you. It means that your next step is actually to feel into it with your sacral response. Is this feel good for me right now? So something like an example I use with Americans is they meet Sana, they go, oh my God, I always wanted to go to Ireland. And so they're meant to wait for a sign, and they might be driving home and they see a big billboard with a picture of Ireland. And then they're meant to go, this does feel good for me right now. And their sacral might go, Then it's a positive, then they can take action. But they might think they want to go to Ireland, but their sacral is going, actually, and it might not be the right time for them, or it might be some other place that's actually better as Ireland to go to, that's going to bring some opportunity that they're not aware of. So this is going to be kind of even more tricky for you to wait, because your unconscious sun is in the gate 53, which is all about starting things, initiating. So you have a big impulse to just do stuff, to go for stuff. Yeah, rather it's going, okay, I'm waiting. I'm going to let life bring me the opportunity that's right. Is that true? Do you recognize that?
Oh God, yeah. To be fair, I have slowed it right down, because I've realized now I'm more in touch again with my body than I was previously.
Yeah.
Now, if it feels right, if there's like a truth in it, and it's coming from outside, it's not. I don't listen to dreams so much. I'll write them down, but if my guides tell me yes, if I see things, and it's also like the other day, Charlotte, a friend of mine, Daniel's, she's doing some contract and stuff now. So I sometimes channel for her, and something like, it was so strange. Well, no, it wasn't. Afterwards, she said, "And what are you doing next?" And I've been sitting on this, and I say this to people. Like, sometimes I tell my guides to slow down and leave me alone, because I need to like come to it in my own terms and my own time. Which is something I've been really, really quite forceful on with myself over the last sort of 9 months, maybe. Which is good, I think, and sitting with things and waiting. But she straight away, something's been formulating in my head for a while around doing shadow work and working with people who have addictions, and and with spirits who need to be sent somewhere better. So it's slowly forming in my head. But she put me in straight away, just out of the blue. I hadn't even mentioned this to her. She just gave me this woman's name, Ann Taylor, to do work with her. And I knew it was right, but not impulsively. But this has been forming for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And when things are really right for me, I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it down, and I cry. Like, tears for me are truth.
Yeah, I get that as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's when I know it's okay to start to put things into action on that, but not too fast. Like,
Yeah, and for you, you have a defined emotional solar plexus as well. So even though you get this feeling and you might get tears, that sensation that this is so what I'm meant to be doing. And I have a feeling that's because you need to do that shadow work yourself. It's always that we're guided into the things and to teach things that we actually have to teach ourselves, right?
oh
So
yeah.
so even though you get that response, having this defined emotional solar plexus, what that means is you have what's called an emotional wave that's always going on inside yourself. You have emotional energy that's consistent and defined within you, okay? So your wave is actually in this channel. It's actually not too big. Some people it's very, very high highs and then low lows, and high highs and low lows. For you, it's a kind of softer wave, okay? No so pronounced, unless something happens to people very close to you. Then it will, if this is a tribal wave, okay? Then it will start getting, you'll feel more extremes in your emotional energy. But you do have a wave, okay? So what this means is at some points, it might be in your day, it's very unique to the person. Some points you're going to be in top form, and other points in the day, you're going to be at the bottom of your wave, which might be just quieter or more melancholic or into your cell, or it might be even you feel depressed or down at that stage, depending on how big your wave is, okay? The most important thing that you can do, or another strategy that you can use, is to start tracking your wave throughout the day. How do I feel first thing in the morning? How do I feel mid-morning? How do I feel at lunchtime? And you will start to see a pattern because it's consistent. It might be over a day, it might be a couple of days. Some people it's over the space of a week. Every Thursday they feel shit and it's
Yeah.
down at the bottom of the wave. And so if you can track your wave and you get a clear pattern happening, how this works is your sacral response, when you get a that feels good, you're actually not designed to be spontaneous. You have to wait over your wave to check, is this still feel good for me? Does this still feel good for me at the bottom? Because otherwise, if it's inconsistent and you're like, you go into that project, half of you is no in there, you're not fully involved in it, and you end up saying yes to things that actually you don't want to be doing at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Does that happen
That's
a
spot
lot?
on. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, you're spot on.
Yeah. So the to, for it to work properly, you have to get a clear all the way through, okay? And then you know this is right for me. That's how that I can go into this. There might be challenges, but it's going to be the right challenges for you. It's going to bring you to, it's going to bring you up in some way, okay? Rather is taking you off track, or like you can, what's the word? Off track, basically. It's going to take you off alignment, okay? So, and another way that you can influence your emotional wave is when you know that you're at the bottom of your wave and you're a bit down, the more that you can self-nurture at that place, it's going to bring your wave up faster. If you're down at the bottom and you're beating yourself up, okay, and I feel that this could be a pattern for you, or like self-abuse and self-sabotage. If you're down here and doing that, what happens is this part becomes longer in time, and then the important bit is the baseline. If you drag out this plus, the whole baseline comes down and your frequency comes down. And then it takes longer for your wave to move, okay? If you can really look after yourself when you're at the bottom of your wave, it comes up faster and then you move through things faster, if that makes sense. The baseline comes up.
Yeah, total sense.
Okay, perfect. So that's a big point to your strategy, tracking your wave if you can. Just keep note until you see a pattern, and then using your strategy. Okay, I want to do this thing. Higher self, give me a sign. Give me signs to see, to check. When the sign comes, does it feel good? Okay, let's wait on my wave. Does it still feel good all over that period of time? And then you can take action if you get a consistent response. And for me, this was like so enlightening because I'm a manifesting generator. So I have potentially this powerful energy that works really fast. I can do multiple things at the same time when I'm on good form. And what happened last year was I moved house. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to bring in the money? And I started having all of these amazing ideas, throwing my energy all over the place, and nothing was working because it wasn't what I was meant to be doing. And I was meant to be doing human design and soul contract, but I didn't know that. And I missed the opportunity because I was so busy panicking, throwing my energy in brilliant ideas, but they weren't meant for me. And eventually I got completely burnt out, Faye. I was like, and completely like soul destroyed because I couldn't work out why I wasn't being supported. But that was my core wound. Okay, I had to go through that. So when I realized, oh, I've got to wait for guidance. I've got a whole team. Like you're lucky in a sense because you're very aware of your team. I guess I am aware of my team because I've got an enlightened master in Mary Magdalene and I know all that, but I haven't been used to communicating with them like that. So my pattern was to go out into the world and think, if I don't do this, it's not going to happen. Nothing's going to come to me unless I make it happen. And so it was like this pattern of doing, and never receiving, never believing that I'd be supported. And so when I made that shift and realizing, oh my God, I just have to like ask and wait. And in the meantime, have lots of good fun and play and after myself and not myself, my whole world has shifted. Everything has shifted. So I have a feeling because of the way that your nervous system has been damaged, and even though you're very intuitive, there will be patterns there or missing the good things for you. Yeah, because of core wounds, you be doing things that actually isn't good for you, that's taking you off alignment, and you're missing the really good opportunities that's going to be bring you into your power, bring you into your healing, bringing all the success your way. And if you can really start to learn how to use your sacral and using your wave to your advantage, then you get to really work with what's right for you, if that makes sense.
Oh yes, it's that some of it I think is conditioning for me.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were talking then about feeling like you have to do everything on your own, you know, I that's just how I was kind of brought, you know, that's how I've been brought up.
Yeah.
So, but they're not my patterns.
Yeah.
That's my dad and that's my mum.
Yeah.
So, and I've healed a lot of that, which is why my guides just came back flooded at first as well. The bad bits came back, so I saw all these dark energies and spirits and things, and scared the shit out of my friends who were with me at the time when they'd come in. but they've cleared as I've got higher and happier, and but you're spot on. I mean, there's still that I still have a lot of work to do on that, and that's okay.
It's when we get triggered. That's what happened to me when I got really triggered, and I was put through a huge triggering situation. Okay, and I've become really resilient and really strong. If anybody else had been put through what I was put through last year, they would have totally flipped. And I was still holding workshops and never had done better work in my life. But I was the fear and anxiety that was surfacing was so huge in me, but it was coming up to be healed, yeah, for me to break through it. And so it's like life will bring you constant triggers to bring that up, but it was the right opportunity for me. I was meant to be here. I'm meant to be doing what I'm doing right now. I just had a big initiation to go through, yeah. But I started kind of distrusting the signs and what this felt so right. Why am I having such a hard time? But I had to be shown what my core wound was, which was believing that nobody supports me, that you can, because of stuff that happened when I was a baby. So it's like for you as well, you'll be, as you get stronger and stronger, you will hold enough light that these core wounds will be able to come up, but you can handle them, that you will have the capacity within you to heal them, yeah, to move through them. But having this strategy to work with, oh my God, I so wish I'd known this 20 years ago. Yeah, because the mistakes I've made, you have no idea. And so it's like if I can share this with people to help give them a tool to use that really works, what it's done for me is like this huge relief, or realizing that I am supported and I can just let go. And the most important thing is my vibration. If I can take care of myself and my body and all my needs and have fun and play and dance or whatever I need to do to bring my vibration up, then I actually, first of all, I have the energy to put into things, opportunities that come my way, but I'll also attract things with the same vibration. Because if you have something you want to create and your vibration is here, there's no match. So it's not about the doing, initiating thing. It's actually about the letting go and allowing and receiving. That's what brings your vibration up. And then you just automatically attract the right things into your life.
Yeah.
And then like the nervous system can, I don't have to do it. Support it, yeah. So it's a process, but it really has been the biggest turning point for me to understand how it works. I was there naturally because I had the spiritual work that I'd done, but I didn't know the system. So as soon as fight or flight came back, I was back in the shit again. You can? And
yeah. Yeah, I do.
If that comes up, the best thing I can do is just to let go of the doing and look after myself. It's how I'm designed. Yeah. Everybody does things differently. And yeah, your emotional wave is very important. And I'll give you notes on all of this after, okay? So that helps you remember. So one more point here, being a generator, you're designed to be a master of whatever skill it is that you wish to involve yourself in, okay? And that's done through a stair-step learning curve. You get a new thing happen, you get this big rush of information, energy, lots of new wisdom, and then all of a sudden you reach a plateau. Okay, and the plateau is really important. It's the part where you are integrating everything that you've just learned, in terms of embodying it. Okay, what can happen to generators again is on the plateau, you get really frustrated. This is your emotional theme as a generator, frustration. So you're here and you like to be doing and making and creating and busy and active. And you're like, what the fuck, nothing's happening. What, yeah, this can't be
Oh,
right
yes.
for me. I must have made a mistake. I'm going to quit. And a big pattern is quitting, okay, before you actually get the next step. And it's just because you're on the integration plus. And if you can reframe the frustration you feel then when nothing is happening into, okay, energy is just building here. If I'm feeling frustrated, my energy is building. That means a sign is going to come at some point to show me what my next step is. And if it is true that you're meant to quit and you're feeling that, give me a sign. Am I meant to quit? And if you get a sign and your sacral goes, I'm meant to quit, and you wait over your wave and it still says you're meant to quit, then it's right for you to quit. Okay? If you get a sign and it says, no, you're not meant to quit, it's like, okay, show me my next step. Give me the next thing, the next stage of mastery. And so you go like that, step by step. You're learning one step at a time. You're gaining wisdom, you're gaining knowledge, you're gaining energy, mastery. And that's how you're designed to move through life.
That makes sense as well. Again, more recently, the last couple of months, certain days I'll be tired, and I'll get a lot. Things will come, and I just, rather than running around all the time, I'll sit and read. I'll sleep in, which is rare, and it's like, oh God, this has never happened. But it's physically, it's like my body needs to physically rest too. And I've started to listen to that. I used to feel bad if I wasn't up and doing something, which makes sense now.
Yeah. And it feels to me like the healing that you've been doing divine healing, haven't you?
I've been doing
so that's going to be starting to reset your whole energy field. Okay, I was exactly the same, like running around this nervous person on adrenaline the whole time in fight or flight. And now it's like I nearly have to make myself do stuff because I love doing nothing. It's like it's kind of gone the opposite, right? So it's finding the balance. And then when you do integrate and you do rest and your energy feels back and firm again, you have so much more to put into the right project. Yeah. And again, waiting for the right sign to come along. Yes, I'm so passionate about that. It's like when Soul Contract came to me, I was thinking my next step was probably going to be I've done the level 2 in human design. I thought I would be doing the level 3. But then I kept getting these signs coming. Nicholas was coming in all sorts of ways online. And I'm like, I even got a free soul contract reading sent kind of through some podcast thing that I was listening to. And I was like, oh my God, I want to do this. And then Nicholas appeared about 3 times that in the space of a week. And I was like,
okay, that's a sign.
really? And my whole energy was like, I really want to do this. It's like totally. And I had no idea how, because I looked and it was going to be 2 weeks till the training. It's like, how do I make the money to do this? And then I just had this kind of bright idea. I would put it out to my human design clients, half price readings after I've done the training.
Nice.
It's available. 88 euros reading. Had within a day, they were all booked up, and I had my course fees. And it was because I was following my strategy, and I just knew this is meant for me, it's coming to me, and show me how to do it, because I'm it. So
It's so strange, isn't it? I mean, mine was by chance last March. Val, we used to work together.
ah,
I hadn't worked with her for a couple of years, and but we stayed friends, and she was just like, "Oh, you popped into my mind. Can I just do a soul contract reading?" And when she did it, I was listening to her, half listening, but I was like, this is for some reason, it was like, this makes so much sense to you. This do things. And I ended up doing divine healing, not straight away, because I needed to do a lot of work on myself. And so I was, receiving healing off other people. And then I did it last November, and I've been doing it since. And then, yeah, but it's just been such a fast, but not necessarily fast, because it's been there my whole life. But I turned away from it. So now it's like, they're like, fuck, yes, finally, come back, Faye, welcome. And I have to be like, slow down, slow down.
and it's right for you. It's like the right path for you, because it's like unfolds like that. It's like, that's what's happening for me. And it's so joyful and passionate, and what's next? And it's like, so your job is to keep your vibration up. Do you use the violet flame as part of your divine healing practice? So this
Yeah,
is,
and I call it in a lot, like in my meditations every day and things, I'll get protection each day. I'll invoke and call forth Archangel Michael, and then I'll ask as well for the violet flame. And
yeah.
oh yeah.
So I was given this practice 15, 16 years ago by my guru, and it has completely changed my life. It's one of the most powerful practices in terms of self-healing that you can do. I was getting nightmares every night before I met her, and it was normal for me. Yeah, I was so used to them, and I used the violet flame so much in my everyday life when I first started using it. Every negative thought, every emotion, I was just blessing it with that violet light, putting it in my field. And I was using it so much that in my nightmares, when something would happen, I was like, I'm the violet light. I'm pure light. Nothing can touch me. Yeah, it wasn't protecting myself. It's just like, I'm pure light. That's who I am. And I didn't even have to wake up in the dream anymore, because there was nothing, there was no fear there. So it's so, so powerful to use that. Just put it, like, it's like blessing yourself with light every day, so that you're creating this powerful energy that, first of all, that's taking care of all of your wounds, but then as you walk around in the world, you're sharing that light with everybody else, that you're healing people without even having to say or do anything, just by being the light. So really, really important practice to focus on. It's completely changed everything for me. And I wouldn't be doing energy work or healing work if I didn't use that practice, okay? Because people's stuff comes up and they feel great and they leave and it's floating about in your room. So you have to take care of that energy. You have to transmute it, okay? So what I'm going to come on to now is called your profile. This is the last thing that we'll do in this reading. Your profile is here. So the profile, your type is the role that you're playing. Imagine this world is a big stage and we all have different roles. For me and you, the builders, the doers, we're like lights, camera, action. We do all the doing stuff. Your profile is the personality of the role that you're playing. Okay, so this is your learning style, your relationship style, your life path to a certain extent. Okay, and your profile is a 3-5, which is the explorer, the visionary leader. And where we get this from is the 0.3 on your conscious sun and the 0.5 on your unconscious sun. So like between every gate, there's like 6 different increments. so it's 6 different expressions of the Chinese hexagram. You know the hexagram, you've got these different lines. There's 6 different kind of expressions of the energy. So you're in the line 3 and you're in the line 5. Okay, so the line 3, I'm also a line 3. So I know this energy very well, the explorer. So what the line 3 means is you're actually an experiential learner. You can only learn things by doing them and fucking up. Really?
What horror. I'd never have guessed.
There is no fuck ups. It's every mistake is actually a must take. Okay, I saw this on Facebook after I learned this about the 3 being a line 3. A must take. It's like, yeah, for line 3s, we must take that. We have to learn through experience. And so even if things go really wonky and wrong, it's part of your learning process. Then you know what to do next. It's like I did everything wrong with my design in order for me to surrender, to be shown the right way. Yeah, so it's like that. And so it involves quite a bit of cliff diving, okay? But that's why it's so important to follow your strategy. So at least you'll be brought into the experiences that are meant for you, rather than the ones that are not going to bring you good stuff. Okay. So the line 3, let me just see what else it says. So you're here to be an expert in what works based on your experience. You have to go through it. Okay. Because by going through it, you actually embody that. It's like everything that I'm sharing with you today, you can feel the authenticity in it because it's actually my truth. I've been through it. It's not something I've learned in a book. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my experience with the whole human design system. It was like, I spent my whole life living this. So when I actually landed, it was like, I know this stuff. I could just teach it. I had to learn the dates and everything, but it was like, I done a share for a book, I share for my life experience. Yeah. So that's the beauty of the line 3. That the more that you're able to embody your wisdom through having gone through that and come out the other side, yeah. You went through that dark night of the soul because you had to learn something. You had to find some inner resilience inside yourself, or you had to surrender to receive help. Yeah.
100% surrender, and to trust, to say I need help as well. Yeah. It was surrender and to say that I needed help.
Yeah. And it's like you learn something through that. It's like, oh my God, I never knew that I could do that. I never knew I was allowed to do that. I thought I had to go. It's like, so you can teach others from that experience that you've been through intimately. Yeah, as a teacher or a potential teacher, potential leader, visionary leader, you're here to teach people from your experience, and it will be authentic because they will sense the truth. You've been through this, you know what I'm going through, so I trust you. You know, you have experienced what I've been. Yeah, so that's the beauty in this line 3. And it's also challenging because it's not going to be easy peasy. Yeah, we have to learn step by step through our experience. So this is all about you with you. It's an intrapersonal energy. It's not about other people. It's you going through your own process of learning. Okay. In another 5 years' time, you're 35, around the age of 40, this experiential exploring will kind of settle down a bit. okay? And it did happen for me.
God.
I was like, you no longer need to do lots and lots of crazy stuff. You
Oh
can.
God, because I'm tired now. I've done. Yeah, I don't know what left there is to do at this point in some ways.
Well, possibly if you follow your strategy, it'll get easier, okay? But it's like you get to a certain point, you go, do I really need to do that? Or can I just choose something else? I've already done this. I don't have to do that again. Yeah, and you start becoming a bit more wise based on the experiences that you've had, okay? So in terms of relationships, this is really funny as well, because the line 3, it's okay. First of all, you don't actually know who you are probably until you're in your 40s. Like for me, it was like I didn't have a clue who I was. I had to go through all of these mistakes and fuck ups and you kind of crazy experiences until I discovered who I was. Yeah, who am I? And who am I on my own even? Because even though I'd never really had much deep relationships or intimate relationships, I'd also never been on my own. So I was having a period of being completely on my own without somebody else kind of hovering on the fringes even.
That's now.
Yeah. Did I
That's
discover?
and it's a conscious choice as well. That's something, there's a part of me I'm like, no, nobody.
Yeah.
It's a conscious choice to be on my own now. And that's, I'm not.
And I'll tell you, you will learn so much from that. It's like when you're in relationship with somebody, it's so easy to get confused that their stuff is your stuff. It's like unless you've spent like an extended time on your own. For me, it's been like 6 years where I've been like, wow, I actually really like myself. I really love myself. I really enjoy my company. I don't need anybody else here. It's like, and it took an extended time to and self-healing to get to that place. So in terms of relationships, you kind of, it's like you need to discover that about yourself. But when you do move into relationships, you kind of have to get in it before you realize is it something that you want or no. It's that thing, you nearly have to make a mistake before you discover. But what can happen is the line 3s, we fall in love at first sight very easily, okay? It might be a bit different with your line 5 because the line 5 is kind of opposite to that, but in terms of the line 3, it's like falling in love at first sight, head first into something, and then realizing, oh my God, this is totally not what I wanted, and falling out of love at first sight, like as quickly. Yeah. Does that come up for you?
So I've made many fuck ups with this, but yes. So in some respects, there's interest straight away, but actually my reaction when I'm really in love with somebody and I know it is I'm very guarded.
Okay.
And I actually rather than, because I can turn on the charm and it's weird because I look like Garth from Wayne's World, but seriously, women fall at my feet. And I've like, I don't fucking know why, but well, that thing. But when I'm really interested, it's something about them and I can sense something. And I try to figure them out and step back and I'm cautious, but that means I'm fucked. So means
that's your line 5 coming into play. Okay, your line 5 is exactly that. I'll come on to that in a minute. It will be the opposite to line 3. So it's kind of like your line 3 comes up when you know that interested and you're being all experimental. But when somebody comes and you're like, oh, I really like this person, then you get guarded in your line 5 and yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, that said, you know, oh God, my ex-fiance, there you go. She straight away, she moved in within like a month. You know, we were together for 4 years, and she's now having some guy's baby, you know, like, and this, so that was really quick. I fell in love with a woman whose numbers were in the same position, different positions, but the same numbers as myself. I'm attracted to certain energies, and it's just, yeah, it's been a succession, and quite long, not long, but kind of like 3 years to like a couple of years at a time of relationships. So this is why I'm not just shagging around. I'm literally just taking this time to myself, and I'm trying to get to know people as well. So if somebody comes along, it's fine, but I want to really know who they are.
Yeah.
I
In
think
terms of human design, like I said, you're very much attracted to people that get your energy to your throat, but we're also attracted to people that have similar energy to your parents. If there's unresolved issues in the different channels that we're playing out with your parents, you're very much attracted to people that have that energy. So because it's a healing thing. You think, if I'm with this person, I can work through my stuff. Yeah. So when you start looking, like I've looked at my past relationships, it's like, oh my God, here's this one, here's this energy again, here's this pattern again, until you somehow you work through it, and then you might be on your father's stuff next, yeah, and then you're working through that, and it is fascinating. It's very
staying single, and if that's
yeah but also, depending, that person might come along and have that channel, but that person might be expressing the energies in a high vibration, yeah, so that it helps you to heal as well, that you're attracted to them, and together you actually serve one another to work through your stuff. Okay. And sometimes what my teacher is sharing is, when people have really worked through their issues and healed their trauma, and if they meet later in life, there's less of the electromagnetics going on, the gates meeting up. They just enjoy being with one another, and it's no so much a chemistry, electromagnetic thing. Okay, so, but I would say at the moment for you, it would be really good for you to have time on your own, that you can really work through whatever it is that's coming up for you. Okay, and it seems like you've had really major trauma in your past, and the more that you can give yourself that time to heal, and you can really love yourself and accept yourself, and when you heal that, you've got really powerful gifts that you're here to share, Faye. Yeah, and we'll come on to that next time. You have like really big energies that you could really be making a huge impact in the world with, but you cannot access them until that trauma gets healed. Yeah, and that your body gets healed as well, your nervous system gets healed. One of the biggest things that happened to me was when I met my guru. I've been having like these kind of big kind of awakening experiences, spontaneous things happening. And when I met my guru, she's like probably the most evolved being on the planet, honestly. Like she's an enlightened, she's an ascended master that's come back to the planet to serve, and her esoteric gifts are like off the scale what she can do. Yeah, she can just disappear into light in front of your eyes, kind of thing. She's amazing. And anyway, her teachings is all about love, okay, and it's all about being in the body. Unless, if we're knowing the body, we can't be enlightened, because it's the body has to, the feminine and the masculine have to be in balance. We have to come together. It's through healing all of the issues and trauma and stuff here that creates the space for your higher self to actually descend into the matter. That's what ascension is. okay, enlightenment and then ascension. So the more that you can focus on your self-healing, and this has definitely been my experience, so the time that I've worked with her, that I've healed so much here, that the energies that I can bring in now, and the level of soul integration that I can bring in, it's just amazing. It's, my whole world has changed in that. So I would highly recommend that you focus on that, okay? Because you're here as a light worker, you're here for a purpose. You've got a big mission here. And I'd love to see you blossom into that gifts more and more. You already have these gifts, but imagine what they could be without all of that trauma holding you back. Just incredible. Yeah. So the line 3, you are always going to be learning for your experiences, but choosing the experiences that are going to be good for you. Okay, the ones that are going to uplift you, that are going to help you shine, that are going to make you into an amazing leader, an amazing teacher, a mystic, somebody that's going to initiate people into their own spiritual path in some way. Okay, and also this one, yeah, that you're going to be, we'll come on to that next time as well, but you've got a mission and a drive within you to activate light workers into living their purpose as well. Okay, so let me just see. So in terms of a relationship or getting into a relationship, the line 3, you actually need lots of time and freedom to decide, is this right for me? Is this the right person for me? So taking it slow as best as you can. Okay.
Oh, funny you've said that. It's so funny because yeah, this is exactly what I said. And I had a few dates with one girl, and I was like, you're not, and I don't know where it came from. I said, you're not respecting what I've told you, which is I don't want to rush into anything, and I can see you do, and I don't mean to hurt your feelings. I'd never normally say this. I was like, no, I'm ending this right here. Like, and I felt terrible because I was like, I never want to hurt anybody ever. But at the same time, I was like, you have to do this. Just tell her to piss off, basically. And I was like, whoa, where did that come from?
That's
And it was because
like your boundary, your 8. It's like, that's your physical talents, your new talents coming in, your 8. Yeah, that you're able to set that clear boundary, and if somebody doesn't respect it, you go, no, that's it, this is what. Yeah.
So I'm purposefully not really dating. There's a friend of a friend who we're hanging out, but she's going through IVF. She's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing, and we're just seeing how it goes. You know, it's been a couple of months. There's no like expectation of anything, and I like that. And we're just getting to know each other, and I'm talking to her about the work I'm doing, because a lot of people are kind of weirded out, and I'm listening to her on her IVF sort of thing, and it might just be a friendship. I think there's a bit of interest, but that's fine. I don't want anything else, and that seems quite good, and that's very healthy right now. So yeah. I'm like, fine. Beyond that, I'm not interested, and if that goes somewhere, great. If not, that's fine too.
Well, if it's meant for you, then it will. She will be there in the right time for both of you. And if it's no meant for you, then there's no rushing into it. There's no point there. Yeah.
And and I like that. And I've never done that before in my life.
Yeah.
But that's, even if this, and that's what it's going to have to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, for sharing from my experience, like what I said about my friend that I moved into relationship with after like knowing him for 5 years.
Yeah, right.
And it was like, okay, well, let's see then, because you're still here and you still really care about me, and maybe this can work. And it didn't work. But the thing was, because I was so fulfilled and strong in myself, because I'd been on my own for so long, that even though it didn't work, yes, it did hurt a little bit because I was disappointed, but yeah, because he was my best friend, and but I wasn't devastated. I was just like, this is the way, because you kind of patterns were starting for his side, and it's like, I'm done with this is no for me. And I could just say, this is not working for me. I didn't have to stay in it, and I didn't have to make a drama about it. So
That's nice.
it felt like if I made another mistake and then I realized, no, I'd actually made an improvement. Yeah, that it didn't affect me in the same way that it would have done in the past, and that I could be compassionate about it, and you can. So I think it's really affected him, and I think that's what you were picking up in the reading, was his grief and his. But for me, I realized that I actually was called for that, to bring up his stuff. Yeah, that I had to do it in a really loving way so that he would start addressing his issues. Yeah. So it's like when it's all about you and your alignment, and the more that you can love yourself and be fulfilled in yourself and raise your frequency, it doesn't really matter who comes and goes. If you're sharing for a full place and the other person is sharing for a full place, that's when you do this together. But if you're coming for a place of lack and you're looking for somebody else to fill you, eventually the relationship is going to go into manipulation patterns, and yeah, you can all of that stuff that we really don't want.
Cannot be dealing with any more of that shit.
Yeah. So yeah, you're in a great place. All of the self-healing, looking inside yourself to your own soul to fill you up. Yeah, the more that you can open and allow that part of you to come in, you're not in lack anymore. There's nothing needed. And like what I shared with you in the email, it was like, I'm even questioning, do I want a relationship? Because my life is so good. But I know that there's a part of me that desires it, but only the best thing, know the other stuff. It's like, I want to meet somebody that's here with me. Yeah. So, but if that doesn't come along, there's no problem, because I'm full. Yeah, my life is fantastic.
Good.
So yeah, so that's the benefits of doing all this work. And so your line 5 is slightly different to the 3, and this might have been playing out for you. The line 5 is called the visionary leader in the quantum language. In the traditional language, it's the heretic. And that's a horrible name, but the reason for that is the line 5 has, your energy works like a karmic mirror. You know the 14-5 in the soul contract? It's like that kind of energy. So this is maybe why you're attracting the 14-5. That's just come to me. Okay, so the line 5 is a karmic mirror. So basically how that works is, if you are with people that are on a low vibration, a negative frequency, they will not be seeing you as who you are. They're only seeing you as a projection of their own energy. And they will blame you and throw all their shit at you. And that's what the heretic comes for. You become that, okay? But if you follow your strategy and your human design, and it brings you to the right opportunities and the right people, and the people that value you and see your worth, then that people will actually see you as a reflection of themselves. Okay, so I see you as a reflection of me, and I know your potential. I know what you're here for as a light worker. I know what you can move into, and what wisdom that you can share with people. And so that, seeing you as that, I see you as a visionary leader. Okay, you might not be there yet, but I know it's your potential. So when you align yourself with the right people, they will see you as a savior nearly. Okay, they will see you, your potential, and that enables you to rise into that. Okay, so as the visionary leader, you're in your highest expression. You're here to actually influence people. You're here to share and universalize all of the highest frequencies of these energies that's in your chart. Okay, by living them, you become that. It's who you are, and you're here to share that with other people, to teach people, okay, to lead people. So you have a huge seductive energy in this line 5, which will be in combination with your 59. This is why people are very attracted to you. Okay, you can really get people on board. If you have an idea, they want in, they want to support you. Okay, it can be very mysterious energy. Okay, the line 5, and partly because people don't actually see you for who they are. They only see you as a reflection of themselves. This is true for everybody to a certain extent, but it's more true for the line 5s. Okay.
It's so funny. I had this conversation the other week. I said, I can't remember who it was with, but I was like, people see me how they want to see me.
Yeah.
And I said it pisses me off because they want to sleep with me because they like the idea of me, but they don't really know who I am. And I feel like I've never given them that, but they've just assumed it's almost like putting me on a pedestal, but not.
Yeah.
It frustrates
and
me.
it's because it's just how your energy works, Faye, and it's always going to be like that. Okay. But the right people, okay, the people that you start feeling safe with, and it's a good relationship, you're gonna start revealing yourself more and more. It's kind of like you unveil yourself gradually and start to show the true you. Okay, because you've had negative experiences, you want to shield yourself. Okay, and so it's kind of like you will play your cards close to your chest, and you're not going to really show people who you are because you have no idea how they're going to treat you. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way process. Okay. And so it's, again, as you heal more and more and you raise your frequency, you're going to attract people off that frequency to you. Yeah, that will see you for who you are. Okay, and following your strategy into the right experiences, the experiences that are going to uplift you and bring you into your path. Okay.
That's what I've got. Really close friends, a lot of them I've had 10-20 years, and I've always had them because they're good. And then when I get to really trust people now, I'm getting older too, I'm like cautious, but it takes about 4 or 5 or 6 years, and then I'm like, I trust you now. And then I'm like completely myself with them, and they're like, thanks, kind of weird, but okay. And then but I'm very careful with them. And another type with that, I attract people, it's mostly men who they sense power, and they're fucked up. They've fucked up visions, and like even when we did the soul contract reading, and they're like, oh, the nines, you're like, it's mostly disempowerment if you're listening. But they're like, oh yeah, I'm so angry, blah, blah. And then they come to you and they're like, do you get like this? Do you like? And I'm like, just keep the fuck away from me. I don't want anything to do with you. It's dark. It's stupid. It's immature energy.
Yeah.
So it's boundaries now. That 8 coming in.
Yeah, totally. But I feel like you do have this power within you, because I noticed that when who you attracted in your first reading there, and I was like, wow, you can. But I was like, whoa, she's strong. She can handle herself. So you can. So it's marking. You do have that power in you, and you do have that, and so it's making the choices that are always going to be good for you, that you don't have to always go into that kind of experiences, okay, that you have that choice, okay. And the more that you can connect with your sacral and wait, don't be spontaneous, that you take your time to make your decisions, so that you get to choose who you want to be with, yeah, or what you want to be doing, so that you can build that self-worth inside you, and be supported by people that really care for you, yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. So
Where have you been my whole life, Sana?
well, obviously we're just been waiting for new, right? There's always a divine timing. So so in this line 5, this part of your energy does have a more destined quality, okay. You are here to make an impact, you are here to share your thing, okay. You will feel that, you know that inside yourself. You're here for a purpose, okay. And you have a life path of helping others in this line 5, okay, and it's come up in other points in your chart as well, okay. Let me see, what have I not shared here? I think I've covered most of this. So in terms of your relationships, you are going to be more guarded in the line 5, okay. It's like this part of you seeks the highest expression of love. You're not in it just for something that's, no, you really want the top thing, okay. And so maybe you can, the fact that you have had a lot of sexual exploration and stuff, it's not really you, it's not really what you want. You want somebody that you can be really intimate with, that you can share your soul pathway, your spiritual pathway, yeah. And again,
yeah, always.
yeah, the 59 is, and the 6 is all about taking your time as well, okay, no rushing into things. How does this feel emotionally? How does this person interact with me, and how does the energy feel between us in this situation, okay. So having lots of partners could be the lower expression of the 59, but wait and taking your time, yeah. And the line 5 here, that's what this is about. You really do seek the highest expression of love. You're never going to be satisfied if it's not that, okay. So really loving yourself first, getting to know yourself, so that you know when somebody comes along, is this person going to be good for me, yeah. Can I let them into my life, and are we going to do this together?
Yeah, I think for now it's just keeping my friends and working on myself.
Yeah. And somebody that is a friend will really respect that, okay. Like my friend Darren, even though the relationship didn't work, he was still a friend for 5 years, yeah. It's like, and I know we will be friends again at a certain point. So it's like that, when you have a foundation that's really strong friendship, like me and him did, we're very different, but we had this really strong, caring friendship. There's a trust there. And when there's trust there, you can really open to somebody, both intimately and sexually. It's like, as a woman, it's hard to open sexually if there's no trust. That's what you need, is the foundation, right? To be able to be open and receptive. So so if somebody cares about you enough, they will be a friend for you. Even if it is 5 years, they will still be that friend, yeah. And then at a certain point, if it's right that you move more into a deeper relationship, then that will happen in its divine timing, in its perfect time.
Just trust or see what happens. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But yeah, you're right. Just work on oneself. And it's been, you know what? It's been freeing. It really, really has.
Yeah. Totally. So, so the highest expression in your line 5 is you're here to influence people and potentially many people. You cannot influence large numbers of people in a line 5. The lowest expression is using your charm, because you're very charming. You have that seductive kind of Casanova energy, if you want, okay?
I know, and I don't know why. It's ridiculous.
But you could use it for manipulation in its lowest expression. So being really aware of that, okay? That
I have in the past, and not intentionally to hurt anyone, but just to satisfy short-term desires or needs for myself. Like it's and it's. But I've grown up. I've learnt not. I've learnt that.
Yeah. So your quantum purpose here, you're here to serve as a karmic mirror. So it is part of your purpose to provide the reflection. And I'll give you an example of that actually. My guru, I don't know what line she is, but when you become an enlightened master, you just become a pure mirror. You're pure light, okay? And about 10 years ago maybe, she was activating some of my biggest trauma, my biggest stuff. And I was falling apart, and I happened to be at an event and it was all coming up. And at one point she does what's called darshan, where a master sits at the kind of up at the top of the room, and then people go up to her one at a time. She brings in this huge energy, and then as you go up to her one at a time, she blesses you, and she's actually clearing your karma when you go up to her. And so all of my stuff was coming up, and I did not want to be anywhere near her, because it's really uncomfortable if you're in a low frequency and somebody is holding this high frequency and you're struggling. You don't want to go there to the light. It's like, it's the opposite, yeah? But I was like, okay, I have to go. I was kind of used to go up to darshan, so I got to the end of this queue. And she looked at me and she's like, what happened? I'm like this. And when I looked at her face, she was all bruised, like on her nose and her sinuses. And I was looking at her going, what's happened to my mom at Sima? What's happened to you? And I was so in my own stuff, I didn't say anything, but it was like she'd been beat up. And it took me a couple of years to realize it was actually my own reflection that I was seeing in her face.
Ooh.
And she was activating whatever that was karmically, or whatever wounds that was from my childhood. She was bringing it up to
oh God.
Yeah. So that was like that ultimate karmic mirror, yeah, where I saw my wounds in her. And so that's kind of one of your roles to a lesser extent, or depending, you might become an enlightened master, it might be something that you do, but your energy works like that. People, you're here to, that is a service that you have. So it's really important for you to keep in that high vibration, so that even if when that people come up and see you as their own reflection, you don't take it on. Okay, that you can be that mirror for them, to actually heal them, to serve them in some way. Okay.
That explains a lot with the 14-5 and always looking for a reflection back of themselves. Yeah. Okay.
So you really have to keep your vibration up. Okay. You really have to work on your own meditation, traumas, healing, everything that you can do. Really focus on your light, Faye. Focus on being in your heart. Your heart is so powerful that when you're there, you can face anything. It's about opening your heart more and more and being more and more vulnerable, that it doesn't matter what comes along, doesn't affect you. Okay? And again, that's a process. It's by healing your own wounds that you can live in that heart-centered place. Okay? So you're here to serve as a karmic mirror for others, to support the healing process through the reflection, by teaching and sharing the highest potentials for humanity possible. So you're here to live your highest expression in order to encourage other people into living their own, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So much sense.
Yeah.
And that's always been the way. Even as a little kid, drunks and people would come up to me and want me to save them and heal them, and I was terrified. I was just a kid. I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. So I'd just sit and hold people's hands sometimes and just wait with them.
Yeah.
Like even a few weeks ago, a guy came up to me and he was like, he'd met up with his friend who just lost his dad, and me and Ollie were just having some food, and he started talking to us, me and Ollie actually, and this guy approached, and as I was leaving, he was like, "Oh, I don't know why I'm telling you all this." He's like, "I'm getting really emotional talking to you," and he wanted help, not even his friend, and I was like, one thing, and I was like, "Thank you." His name's Damien. I took his number. I wrote his number down, but.
So you also have to get 13. I have this gate as well, and you also have the 50. The 50 is all about nurturing. Okay, so you have a very nurturing, motherly energy here. Okay, but the 13 is the gate of the listener. And it's the gate that people come up to you in the supermarket and tell you their deepest, darkest secrets. It's like they just gotta help tell you.
I'm in a rush today.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
but it's the perfect energy for a therapist. Okay, it's people just automatically trust you and they want to share with you. So that's the 13 in its full expression there, but along with the 5 and all of the other energy, they all play together. But you can understand why these things happen to you. Okay, so it's true for everybody. The most important thing you can do is raise your vibration. When you do that, you don't have to protect yourself for anything. It's like if you feel you have to protect yourself, you're in fear. If you just be the light, you raise your frequency, no fear can touch you because you don't resonate at the same place. Yeah. It's like my guru says, she just doesn't operate with protection. She's just pure light. And it's just like, who am I protecting myself from? Myself? Because she's everything is herself. She's in oneness. Yeah. She just sees us as a reflection of ourselves that has forgotten who we are. Yeah. And she's just here to remind you who you are. So there is no evil or negative, or it's just a forgetfulness. Yeah. And so when you can always connect to your light and raise your vibration, there's nothing to fear and there's nobody to protect yourself from.
I'm doing light body integration work at the moment, which is really good, and it's to help clear the things to get to my higher self as well. And
fantastic.
While doing some shadow stuff as well to clear through the traumas.
Yeah. So just keep doing lots of that. It's never going to stop until enlightenment. And so we just have to enjoy the process. Like, love it. I've actually really loving it now. It's like you can, even when it's really tough stuff coming up, like what happened last year, it was like, this something really big must be happening. You can. because and knowing that even though it was so tough and I had never done better work in my life, wow, this is amazing.
Says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was like so resilient and strong, and when my guru met me, she had to scrape me up off the pavement. I was so wounded. Yeah, I was so broken. So it's like realizing everything we do is making this huge impact, and eventually you'll just be like, wow, I can't even recognize myself. I'm so different. But it's no different in being different. It's like you become who you know you are inside, and you can actually live that person. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But you have to go through the experiences, don't you, to get there?
Yeah. Just keep focusing on your light, and that happens. You will naturally blossom, because your soul wishes that. It's only when we hold back that causes the blockage, if we're in resistance. If we just keep letting go and surrendering, rather it's being brought to a place where we have to surrender. If we can just every moment surrender and let go, it's just like a flower opening. The flower is naturally going to do that, and your heart naturally does that. But it's when we try to protect ourselves that we stop it happening. Yeah.
You've got me figured.
So my love, I'm going to finish there because there's loads to take in, and you've got lots of energy and lots happening. So if you'd like another session, then we'll do your life and soul purpose, and we'll look at more specifically into all of these energies. I've shared some with them with you already, but as we go through them, it will get a lot of clarity. You'll really understand what's been going on, and what you've chosen, and what your potential is, and how you actually activate yourself more and more. So
Oh yes, please. Yeah.